Zack already out of jail, y'all. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another review. Like with Chess for Tyler Perry, Zatima Season 3, Episode 14. Okay, y'all, so first things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Look, I said the synopsis said that Connie was going to be the one to tell Zack, but she was not. Nathan was the one to tell Zack. Not only that, I said he trying to make himself look good. Now, I just said on the last episode review, I said, okay, Nate is looking out for Zack. He the only one saying like, he don't went flipped it, try to make it seem like they were just intentionally leaving him in there and everything. I mean, technically, that's true, but they were just listening to Fatima. I said, now you finna get ready to be mad at everybody. Do y'all think that this is gonna teach him that for everybody to turn their back on him, or that's the way he look at it? That means he doing something wrong enough to change or whatever? Or do y'all think he gonna view it as, oh, y'all all coming against me, y'all all decided to leave me there and everything? I mean, they done showed in the trailer where him and Fatima riding together. They supposed to be at the funeral home. They supposed to be at the funeral together or whatever, and then afterwards, so they gonna be good. They definitely gonna be good. They also showed the scene where they having dinner with I'm assuming Leslie and what's his name? Malachi. But okay, on this episode, basically the cop's still talking to Zack or whatever, and Zack just study telling him he don't want to talk to him, leave him alone, all this stuff. Then he ends up bringing up Nate's name. And I said, wait a minute. But yeah, he ends up saying that Nathan wants to talk to him or whatever, and he finally takes the phone. He takes the phone, and that's when Nate ends up telling him that you supposed to be a free man and all this stuff. And he flipped it. I said, no. He could have said it a different way, but the way he said it make it seem like they all just turned against him or something like that. They all just decided to leave him in there for good or something. And the way he said it. But he ends up telling Zack that Jeremiah's still alive. And then that's when Zack was like, then why am I still in here? And I got a question, because they said, I think the judge said something to Bryce about Zack still faces charges or whatever. I think they said assault or something like that. I said, but if Jeremiah said he not pressing charges, can they still charge him considering they got the video evidence? But yeah, Zack ends up saying, why is he still in there or whatever. Then he's like, you got to call Fatima and let her know what's going on. And they were talking about some, what he said, she already know. He was excited to say that. I said, see, this is why you gotta be one step ahead of these folks. Never give nobody, what I tell y'all all the time, never give nobody no chance to one up you. And that's what Nate did. Because now Zack over here like, what's she doing? And all this stuff, questioning her. And that's why I said they supposed to, now we'll say, one of the episode synopsis says they supposed to talk about trust and all that stuff. And I said they definitely need to. Because anytime something pop off, they against each other. Or I ain't gonna say against each other, but they believe in other people over each other and all that stuff. But I said, okay, Nate, and what's her name, Connie? I said, we just started to give y'all the benefit of the doubt. Don't show out now. You didn't hear it sit down. What they say, get in here and sit down now. Because on the other episode, Connie over here questioning Tony about Dr. Reed and Fatima and all this stuff. Now Nate over here talking about, you know what I think or whatever. I said, I'm glad that, I think Zack shut him down when he said that. I don't know. But yeah, I was like, don't come in here stirring up no doggone trouble. They got enough to deal with it as it is. But yeah, Nate ends up saying that Fatima already knows, and that's when Zack was like, what is she doing and all this stuff. And he ends up singing like a bird. He telling everything. He tells that Fatima, Tony, and Connie, they all left you in there or whatever. I'm the only one trying to get you out and all this stuff, trying to make himself look good. I said, I will say, like I said last episode review, I said so far, he has been thinking about Zack. Now, I don't know if that's because of guilt or what, but he has. But Zack ends up telling Nate to call Bryce and tell him everything that happened. And said something about, what's his name? Call Judge Simmons or something like that. But yeah, I said, why he flipping? He trying to make himself look real good. He did. But Nate ends up stopping by the barbershop or whatever. I said, so is he the one? They said that on one synopsis, they said that what's his name? Tony has to defend the barbershop from an unwanted guest. So I'm assuming there was Nate, unless that's on a different episode. But yeah, Nate ends up stopping by and revealing that he couldn't get in touch with Bryce or whatever. And then Tony ends up revealing that he thinks Zack needs to learn a lesson as well. And I said, I agree and I understand what they're trying to do, but at the same time, you can't force nobody to learn no lesson. He has to learn for himself. You can't make him learn the lesson. And I said, okay, with this situation, I'm wondering if he gonna view it as, okay, if Nate, the only one telling me that what I'm doing is okay and all this stuff, then clearly something's wrong. Something's wrong because it's Nate. It's Nate. Come on now. If Connie, Fatima, and Tony all think that I need to learn a lesson and left me here, maybe I did something wrong. But no, here come Nate. We'll see though. We'll see how it all plays out because he don't think he did something grand. But yeah, Tony ends up telling Nate he feels like Zack needs to learn a lesson as well. And he was like, he thinking about this situation too much and all this stuff. And Nate ends up finding out that Tony's high. And I was wondering, I said, he acting a little different than he normally acts. But okay, look, they showing, the way they was filming it, they was showing it was daytime. Because remember she said she going to let him spend the night there or whatever. So she over here, first she was over here working out. They cut to the scene where her and Angela working out on the little machines. I don't know what it's called. What was it, the treadmill? I don't know. They was on something. They was on something. I was like, oh no. I said, wait a minute now. I said, she over here working out. I said, you just going to leave him there for real? And I wrote down, I said, I thought she was going to get him out in the morning time. But Angela was questioning her about getting Zack out, and she was like, Zack basically like a bad kid. He needs to learn his lesson and all this other stuff. Then this dude come over, and for a second, I was like, okay, he gonna be the one that films Angela, because I had seen the synopsis. They were saying that a video gets out, it's all over the internet and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, we haven't seen nobody film her, so I'm like, okay, it's gonna be this dude. But no, it's already out there. But yeah, Fatima assumes that he was trying to talk to her. I thought he was too, but he was actually trying to talk to Angela. Nate ends up telling Bryce that Zack needs him to call the judge or whatever. He basically filled him in on Jeremiah still being alive and all that stuff. So he ends up trying to call the judge, but I don't think, did he answer? He answered later, I think. I don't know. Well, Fatima ends up bumping into Leslie, her old friend or whatever, and they started talking. And I think she said something about they need to go to dinner or something like that. I think her, Fatima, Malachi, and Zack or whatever. And she was like, not right now, or something like that. Then she was like, well, at least we can go to dinner or whatever. And she just kept on or whatever. They say that she's supposed to be wanting Fatima's life. She's supposed to be jealous of her. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read. That's what I read, so we'll see. But yeah, they end up talking and making plans, and that's when Fatima introduces Leslie to Angela or whatever. And Angela was like, she's Fatima's new best friend. But the judge ends up saying, Judge Simmons ends up saying that he's looking into it, but there may be some charges for Zack, some assault charges or whatever. I said, I knew it. I said, maybe they should have, when I seen that, I was saying how when they showed that, I wrote down, I said, maybe they should have just let Fatima handle it. Maybe they made things worse. I said, I don't know. But I think by the end of the episode, they did end up saying that the judge looked into it. But then they showed Fatima again, and she was working. And then Angela came in talking about the day has went by. It's now 5 o'clock. I said, dog. But she did say that she had called somebody. I think she said somebody named Ben or something like that. But he was busy or whatever. But yeah, Zack seemed mad that Fatima left him in there. Because I think, didn't he tell them? I think he told them not to tell Fatima anything. I think that's what he said or whatever. I said, is he trying to sneak up on her or what? But Angela and Fatima ended up talking, and she was like, she about to get up out of here. And they was just talking about the dude she just met. She was saying how he's coming over, and that's when Fatima was telling her, didn't she tell her about inviting these folks to her house? And that's when I wrote down, I said, so this going to be the dude that's recording her? But no. Then it shows Zack, Bryce, and Nathan. I thought they had showed them beforehand. But yeah, and here comes Zack coming out. They over here dancing and stuff. I said, now is not the time to be dancing. I said, is he still facing assault charges or what? But yeah, they in these folks' police station dancing and stuff, doing their little handshake. So they cut to the scene with Angela and the guy. I don't know. Did they ever say his name? Look, y'all know I don't never be writing these folks' name down. But yeah, they cut to that scene. I think they was on the couch or whatever. Then he called her, what he called her? He called her a B word, something he said. And she was like, what you call me or whatever? And she got mad, but she wasn't picking up on what he was saying. He was like, I know what you're into or whatever. And she got offended about what he was saying and told him he need to leave. And he was like, all the stuff I seen you do, now you want to be embarrassed or whatever. And she's still not picking up on what he said. But she ends up calling Fatima and letting her know about the guy or whatever. And Fatima was like, I told you about letting strays in. And she keeps saying that. I told you about letting strays in your house and all that stuff. I said, well, I guess she going to listen now. I still say, whether she consented to that or not, that don't mean you go post folks. I still say that. Whether she was talking to a lot of men or not, that still don't mean you go do stuff like that. I want to know, was it somebody we've seen? Was it Sean? Was it, Sam? I think they're the only two they showed, really. I think first she was talking to Bryce, but she has been hooking up with a lot of dudes. That's why Fatima was telling her what she was telling her. But the dude had left. Then he come beating on the door, and she was like, he back or whatever. Fatima was like, I'm on my way or whatever. And she was like, stay on the phone. So he beating on the door. He like, open the door. You want to make me seem like I'm crazy and all this stuff. And I said, he could have just showed her then. I was like, she wasn't picking up on what he was saying. But yeah, he beating on the door and stuff. Then he was like, come to the window. And she was like, do not open the door. Don't go to the window and all this stuff. So she goes to the window and she was, I forgot what she said. Then she said, oh my God, or something. And Fatima was like, what? Or whatever. So I'm assuming he showed the video. So somebody recorded her. But yeah, that's it. Let me know y'all thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, this is how girl rest of the day and be safe.